Hi, Elon, over here from the UK. Pleasure to ask a question to you. My question is, how are you managing the risks associated with the Falcon Heavy, and particularly the recently announced private launch around the moon? Thank you for your time.
Sure. So, first of all, I should say Falcon Heavy, that requires the simultaneous ignition of 27 orbit-class engines. There's like, a lot that could go wrong there. And I encourage people to come down to the Cape and see the first Falcon Heavy mission. It's guaranteed to be exciting. But it's, this is one of those things that's really difficult to test on the ground. I mean, we can fire the engines in the ground, but and we try to simulate the dynamics of having 27 instead of 9 booster engines, and the airflow as it goes through transonic. It's going to see heavy transonic buffet. The max Q, how does it behave on a max Q? There's a lot of risk associated with Falcon Heavy. Real good chance that vehicle does not make it to orbit. Want to make sure, set expectations accordingly. I hope it makes it past, far enough away from the pad that it does not cause pad damage. I would consider even that a win, to be honest. Yeah. Very exciting, major pucker factor, really. Yeah. It's like no other way to describe it.
That dwindles the amount of people who want to ride on that the first time.
Yeah. Well,
smaller cat. There's still people.
I'm saying full disclosure here, man. Full disclosure. I think Falcon Heavy is going to be a great vehicle. Just like so much that's really impossible to test on the ground, and we'll do our best. It actually ended up being way harder to do Falcon Heavy than we thought, because at first it sounds real easy. You just stick 2 first stages on as strap-on boosters. Man, how hard can that be? But then everything changes. All the loads change. Aerodynamics totally change. You've tripled the vibration and acoustics. So if you sort of break the qual levels on so much of the hardware, the amount of load you're putting through that center core is crazy, because you got 2 super powerful boosters also shoving that center core, and it's like, so we have to redesign the whole center core airframe. It's not like the Falcon 9 because it's got to take so much load. Then you got the separation systems, right. It just ended up being really way more difficult than we originally thought. We were pretty naive about that. But the nice thing is when it's fully optimized, it's about 2.5 times the payload capability of a Falcon 9. So it's well over 100,000 pounds to LEO payload capability. 50 tons. Could even get up to a little higher than that if optimized. And then the nice thing is that it does have the throw capability to toss the Dragon 2 in a loop around the moon. And then Dragon 2 itself, the heat shield is designed with a huge amount of margin. So it's got enough margin to handle lunar re-entry. Particularly if we do initial velocity scrub, do sort of at least 1 pass to scrub velocity, then come in on the 2nd pass. But no question, whoever's on the first flight, brave.
Yes.
Brave.